Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees for today's session of Bhagavad Gita Ratnamala and the 5 jewels of Bhagavad Gita. Last 4 weeks, 4 Sundays, we have been discussing several shlokas in the Bhagavad Gita, jewel-like shlokas, and today is the last day of the year and last day in our series of classes on Gita jewels. Today we will discuss about several jewel-like virtues that Krishna is teaching us in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So, in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna inspires us to perform Bhakti Yoga. Okay. So, what makes a person dear to Krishna? One is when you chant his holy names, when you hear about Krishna's pastimes, when you read scriptures, when you go to temple, when you worship the Lord, all these are great. But apart from performing all these spiritual practices or rituals, etc., Krishna expects us to develop certain virtues that will make one dear to Krishna. What are those virtues? Krishna speaks in 8 shlokas at the end of 12th chapter that we need to develop qualities like gratitude, compassion, non-enviousness, and many such wonderful qualities so that we become dear to him. So, bhakti is not just performing certain rituals or some kind of practices or worshipping the Lord. Bhakti also involves developing a genuine character, the good character that pleases Krishna's heart and pleases everyone's heart. So let us go deep into these qualities. I am reading from the 13th shloka of the 12th chapter of Gita. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitrah karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukhakshami. Let's recite this full shloka, no need of line by line. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitrah karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukhakshami. Next.
Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitraha karuna eva cha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukhakshami.
Next.
अद्वैता सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखः सुखक्षमी.
Next.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Adveshta Maitra Karuna Evacha Nirmamo Nirahankara Sukha Kshami. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. One more.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna eva cha nirmama nirahankara samadukha sukha kshami.
Let's see the meaning of this shloka. Adveshta sarvabhutanam. Dvesha means envy. Adveshta means to not envy anyone. Okay. Krishna did not say don't envy Kshatriyas, don't envy Brahmanas, don't envy human beings. Krishna said don't envy anyone. Sarva Bhutana means all living beings. So a person who is non-envious, a person who has no envy or jealousy or hatred or grudge or negativity towards any living being in the entire creation, right? It's not just don't envy your friends, don't envy your family members, don't envy your society members, locality members, or members of the country, or members of your school or college or corporate. Okay, and you can envy other company people, you can envy other country people, you can envy people of other states. Not like that. Adveshtaha sarva bhutanam. So our love and well-wishing nature should not be directed only towards those people who are physically, biologically, or closely connected to us. So we need not envy, we should not envy anyone in the planet. Okay, our non-envy, we should be non-envious only towards human beings. Yeah, we should be non-envious towards animals also, towards birds also. Okay, you should treat another human being with love and care, and you can kill animals. Krishna is not teaching this kind of lesson, by the way. In another shloka, Krishna said, Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini sunichaiva swapakecha panditaha samadarshinaha. Krishna said that one who is really wise, one who is really humble, he sees Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane. He sees a brahmana, an elephant, and a cow, and a dog, or a dog eater. All five people he sees on an equal plane. Of course, all five are not exactly same. They have different bodies and different characteristics, but they are same in the sense that all of them are children of God, isn't it? Everybody is a child of God. Everybody is a spirit soul connected to the Lord. And the Lord stays within the hearts of all living beings, right? As super soul, as Paramatma. Thus, there is a sense of equality on a spiritual plane. Therefore, a wise person or a spiritually minded person is one who sees spiritual equality amongst all living beings behind their material differences. Materially, there may be 100 differences, but spiritually, all of us are children of God. So one should acknowledge that spiritual equality and should not envy anyone. That's the first quality that makes us dear to Krishna. Adveshta sarva bhutanam. Second, Maitraha karuna evacha. Maitri means friendly nature. Karuna means kindness, compassion towards all living beings. Don't envy anyone, be friendly and be compassionate, right? So these are three qualities mentioned in the first two lines. Then one more. In the third line, he describes two qualities. Nirmamo nirahankaraha. Nirmama. Mama means mine. This belongs to me. A sense of possessiveness. Thinking oneself to be proprietor. Nirmama means don't think of yourself as a proprietor. Okay. That is Krishna's instruction. You may have hundreds of possessions, but don't be possessive about the possessions. Many times in this world, people are possessed by their possessions, right? Sometimes it is said that we are possessed by some ghost or some powers or some planets, right? Actually, most people are possessed by their possessions and possessed by their positions also. They are so attached to their positions. They may be very wealthy, they may be super rich, and they may have a lot of land, they may have a lot of followers, and all these social status and financial status and hierarchical positions, they get into the heads of people and they become very possessive about them. They don't allow anyone else to look in that direction, right? This is mine. You should not look in this direction. This chair is mine. This position is mine. This seat is mine, right? So that kind of mentality reflects one's insecurity. You understand insecurity? So insecurity is a product of scarcity consciousness. You understand what is scarcity consciousness? Scarcity consciousness means to think that there are limited seats or limited opportunities or limited facilities to enjoy. That is called scarcity consciousness, scarcity mindset. Okay, we think that it's limited. For example, I get first rank in my exam, and no one else should get first rank, because first rank can be got only by one person, right? The student may not even be able to imagine a situation where 10 people can get 100% out of 100%, but he thinks only one person should get 100%, that should be me only, right? The top position should be meant for me only. Okay, so people want to be in the top, but actually everybody is uniquely made, everybody is uniquely gifted, and everybody has their own special qualities, specific qualities, and in spiritual context everybody can offer a particular service to Krishna. Did you ever hear that in the Vrindavan Dham, some gopas are envious of other gopas, or some cows are envious of other cows? One cow is in red color, another cow is in black color, another cow is in white color. Some are cream, some may have a plain body, some may have body that has spots of different colors, multicolor cows, right? Did you ever hear that one cow is envious of another cow? Or one parrot is envious of another parrot? Or one gopa is envious of another gopa? Or one gopi is envious of another gopi? So no, actually, actually envy and love cannot coexist together. When you love God, you cannot envy anyone, because everyone is connected to God. When you actually love Krishna, when you're actually trying to become dear to Krishna, you should not host any envy or pride in your hearts at any cost, right? So, and one more thing is this possessiveness. So nirmama, mama means it is mine. So when you think it is yours, when you think you are the proprietor of things, when you think you have so many possessions and these possessions are acquired by your efforts alone, that will lead to ahankara. Ahankara means ego, false ego, that reflects in a person's pride and arrogance, and an ability or an inclination to suppress people, oppress people, dominate people, right? So all these are effects of ahankara. So nirmamo nirahankara. Krishna says, don't have any sense of proprietorship. Don't be very possessive about things. Secondly, don't be very egoistic. Okay, nirmamo nirahankara. Then one more line, last line. Sama dukkha sukha kshami. Sama means to be equipoised, being very equal. In what? Dukkha, distress, sukha, happiness. So sama dukkha sukha means to maintain an equipoised state amidst the joys and sorrows of life. So why we should look at joy and sorrow in an equal plane? Why should we look at happiness and distress equally? Are they equal? Actually, they're opposite. In what sense happiness and distress are equal? Can anyone answer this question? Why Krishna is saying sama dukkha sukha?
Only because they are both like sent by Krishna for various purposes, like our previous actions and various other purposes. They are all parts and parcels of Krishna given to us.
Okay. Basically, both happiness and distress are given to Krishna, given by Krishna to us. In that sense, they are equal. Okay. Any other perspective? Yes.
Prabhuji, they both are temporary and keep coming and going.
She is quoting Bhagavad Gita. Agamo paino nitya tamstitikshasva bharata. They're temporary. They come, they go, they're impermanent. Yes. Any other perspective? We got two perspectives.
Also, Bhagavad Gita 2.56 Dakeshu Anajigna Manasikeshu Vigataspriya Vitaraga Bhakrodas there Manruchate. So in that also they keep coming and going. So they both are equal, like we have to tolerate them like they are equals.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Next. Any other perspective?
But Prabhuji, we will be eligible for liberation.
Okay. He's quoting 2.15. Right? That is Samadukha Sukham Dhiram Somritatvaya Kalpate. Right? Samadukha Sukham Dhiram. One who maintains equanimity or equal vision towards both happiness and distress is eligible for liberation. Very good. Excellent. So Krishna is saying that happiness and distress keep coming and going. They're equal because both are temporary. both are material, both are God sent. Okay, therefore we need to maintain equanimity, although they are opposite in nature. Then final word is kshami. Kshama means to forgive, to tolerate. Actually, tolerance is a product of forgiveness. Internally, when you forgive somebody, externally you excuse that person. Okay, externally you kind of tolerate their mistakes. Fine. And even if you don't tolerate certain mistakes when they're very grave, small mistakes you can tolerate. Okay. But when grave mistakes are happening, you cannot tolerate. You should not tolerate. You should immediately teach them a lesson. Right. But even though you become little strict with a person or you punish a person for their grave mistakes, you don't tolerate their mistakes, internally you should be forgiving. Right. So there should be forgiveness within. So forgiveness means not holding any grudge, not holding any envy, not holding any negativity towards that person. Externally address the situation because they have done a mistake, you have to appropriately punish them. But internally don't hold any negativity. That is forgiveness. Okay. We'll discuss more. I think while just discussing the meaning of the words only, we have gone into a lot of explanation, but I'm supposed to just go deep into each and every one of these qualities and explain. But we'll come back to that. We'll do one more shloka here today, because there are 8 shlokas in this series. Today we'll do at least 2 shlokas. So let's recite. Santushtah satatam yogi yatatma dridha nishchayah mayyarpita mano buddhir yomad bhaktah same priyah. Yes, recite.
संतुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यार्पिता मनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः
सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पिता मनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः.
Correct. And one more.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु दंडाचरण. संतुष्ट सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः.
Okay. Now let's discuss the meaning of this shloka. Santushtah satatam yogi. Yogi means one who is trying to practice yoga. Yoga is not just doing some bodily exercises. Yoga basically means an attempt to connect with Krishna, connect our consciousness with the Supreme Lord. Okay, that is yoga. All of us know that. So, santushtah satatam, such a yogi, such a person who is performing some spiritual practices to develop a relationship with God, you know what he's supposed to do? Santushtah, be satisfied. Satata means always. Satisfaction should not be a phase of life, should not be a moment in a day. Satisfaction should be a constant emotion, constant underlying current in all our activities and interactions in this world. There should be satisfaction always. Santushtah satatam, always be satisfied. Don't just think that if I do this, I will get satisfaction. Yeah, at the end you will get satisfaction. Okay. But while doing also, may you be satisfied. That's the point. So generally, people understand that satisfaction is a product, is a result, is a consequence of doing certain actions. But while doing those actions also, you can have a satisfied heart. That's what Krishna is trying to emphasize. Santushtah satatam yogi, always be satisfied. When you eat food, you will be satisfied. Your hunger will be satisfied. But while eating food also, you can experience satisfaction morsel by morsel. Okay. When you get your degree, you enrolled for a 4-year course, BTech course in a college. When you complete your degree, you are satisfied. But while doing the degree, 8 semesters, 4 years, you can be satisfied every day with the knowledge that you are gaining, right? So satisfaction is not just an end product or a result or a consequence of certain efforts. Even efforts can be put also while being satisfied. Okay, you are satisfied with the kind of engagement that you are in. Second, yatatma dridhanishchayaha. Okay, yatatma means to control oneself, right? You should have self-control. You should not be irregulated. So there should be some kind of regulation. Actually, when there is a regulation, there is freedom. That's why these principles like no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling, so these are called regulative principles of freedom. Even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 kinds of regulation that Krishna puts on our eating, on our sleeping, okay, on our working, and on our enjoyment, recreation. Anyone knows that shloka? Krishna puts some regulation. Yes, you know, Hasani? I know all of you know, or some of you know.
युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः.
युक्त ahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Ahara means food, right? Control your food habits. Vihara means recreation, moving around, joy, fun, entertainment. Have a control. Don't play whole day. Okay, you should dedicate some time for playing, but you cannot play 24 hours in a day. Yukta ahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya. Work. Don't work 24 hours in a day. Have some regulation, right? Yukta ahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu. And yukta swapnava bodhasya means you are supposed to regulate your swapna, means dreaming. Don't do daydreaming. You sleep for a while, whatever amount of sleep is required for rejuvenation of your body. Okay, so basically these 4 things that Krishna talks about, ahara, vihara, cheshta, and swapna, they must be regulated. If you regulate yourself, then there is freedom. So actually, regulation and freedom are opposite in nature. But why Krishna is saying that regulate them, you will be freed? Why? What is the connection between this regulation and freedom? How can regulation be called freedom? You are restricting your mind, you are restricting your senses, you are restricting your habits, you are restricting your work, but that's actually freedom. So the answer is, no one is raising hand, I will only give answer. So when there is regulation of the mind, when there is a regulation of senses, then we are free to pursue our spiritual life, to completely be free from this material entanglement forever, for good. Okay. But when we, in the name of freedom, if we just don't restrict ourselves, restrict our eating habits or sleeping habits or working habits or engagement of senses, if we don't put restrictions upon us, what happens is that kind of unrestricted, irregulated, sensual activities will lead us into more and more entanglement in the material world. Someone who is unrestrictedly enjoying their senses, what will happen? They will be plunged into the repeated cycle of birth and death, isn't it? So unrestricted sense enjoyment, whether it is eating enjoyment or sleeping enjoyment or some other enjoyment of senses, if there is no restriction there, that will lead to a lot of bondage. For example, just take the simple example of eating. Somebody puts a restriction. I should eat only 1 sweet in a day or 2 sweets in a day, not 100 sweets in a day. Okay. But if the one doesn't control the diet habits, they eat like 100 sweets in a day, what will happen? The digestive system will get affected, body may become obese. Then this kind of unrestricted enjoyment will lead to hundreds of restrictions put by doctor. Right? So anything, whether it is sleeping or eating, when you go beyond certain limits, hundreds of other limits are imposed upon you. But when you eat sufficiently, right, you just eat 1 sweet or half sweet, or eat 1 sweet in 2-3 days, or eat 1 sweet a day, whatever it is, whatever your body can handle, if you just regulate, right, you can eat sweets for a longer time. Whole life you can eat. Even if you're 70 or 80, you can eat some sweets. You cannot say, I have sugar, I have diabetes, I have this, I have that. You cannot say that. You did not say that. Because you have restricted your eating habits since beginning of life. Even at the end of life also, you don't have so much restriction. So regulation or restriction is meant to free you. And ultimately, when you lead a regulated lifestyle, what happens is you remain healthy and happy, mentally free and physically free, to engage yourself in spiritual practices. And that spiritual practices like chanting, hearing, worshipping the Lord will permanently free you from all the material entanglement, and we will enter the spiritual world where there is absolutely no restriction. There is only love. there is only service, there is only happiness, there is spiritual ananda, right? So this regulation is actually freedom. Regulation, regulating material senses and material mind will lead to spiritual freedom. Okay. Then Dridha Nishchaya means have determination. We should have complete determination in doing whatever we are doing. Mayyarpita mano buddhir. You also offer your mind and intelligence to Krishna. Now, all these activities like satisfaction, self-control, determination, and in the previous sloka we have seen non-envy, all these are like general virtues which are like products of mode of goodness, generally speaking. But unless there is a foundation of bhakti, foundation of devotion to the Lord, just by developing these external qualities, we cannot maintain them, we cannot sustain them. Satisfaction is sustainable when it is based on the foundation of relationship with Krishna. Okay. Determination is sustainable when it is based on the foundation of bhakti towards Krishna. So all these qualities are sustainable, retainable, and we can develop them when we have devotion to Krishna. As Krishna says, as Bhagavatam says, Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatya kinchana sarvair gunaistatra samasate suraha harav abhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathena satidhavato bahi. One who has bhakti unto Krishna will automatically and gradually develop all good qualities. Okay. So, but one who does not have bhakti towards Krishna, although such people have good qualities, they may not even retain them, they may lose them. Because these good qualities are products of sattva guna. Whether it is satisfaction or gratitude or kindness, gentleness, politeness, truthfulness, cleanliness, all these good qualities are generally qualities in mode of goodness or sattva guna. But in this material world, sattva guna is not pure. Sattva-guna is always tinged with Rajogun and Tamogun. When such a Sattva-guni person associates with people who are in Rajogun and Tamogun, that Sattva-guna person will develop qualities of Raja and Tama and lose his cleanliness, lose his satisfaction, lose his gratitude, lose his politeness, lose his gentleness, right? So I have seen people who are coming from very good families, but when they started when they entered college and they started living in certain hostels and they started associating with certain friends, they lost all that good culture, right? Because of bad association. So good qualities can be lost because of bad association. But even if you are bad, even if you don't have all these good qualities, when you come to good association and practice bhakti, you will develop all these good qualities. Therefore, the foundation of all good qualities is bhakti, devotion to Krishna, spiritual life. When we are rooted in spiritual practices, then we can retain all these good qualities. But when spiritual practices are not there, just good qualities are there, they may be lost at some point of time, right? We need to give a foundation to them. Okay. So now Krishna says, Mayyarpita mano buddhir, offer your mind and intelligence to me. Basically, he says, perform bhakti. Yomad bhaktaha same priyaha. So when bhakti is there, then all the good qualities can be maintained. Now let us get into the details of some of these qualities. So let's begin with satisfaction. Satisfaction is a very common aspiration of people. Santushtaha satatam yogi. So everybody does so many works just to attain satisfaction. Okay. Prabhupada writes that a devotee is satisfied with whatever comes by the grace of the Lord. He does not endeavor much to achieve something with great difficulty. Therefore, he is always joyful. So there is no hankering. There is no longing for so much pleasure. There is no greed for so many facilities. There is satisfaction with whatever comes of its own accord. Right? I do honest effort with all integrity, with all honesty. Whatever comes on its own accord, I will just accept it. That is called satisfaction. Now my question is, in the name of satisfaction, can we just remain stagnant? If you are satisfied with whatever comes of its own accord, then should you not work to improve yourself? Should you not work to grow up to your full potential? So how is satisfaction and determination How can a devotee have both? So we should have determination to just grow. We should work hard. We should try hard to improve ourselves. But if we are satisfied with whatever is happening in our life, whatever we are getting in our life, then how can we grow? So is Krishna indicating that in the name of satisfaction you should not work to grow? Or in the name of working, he says he's counteracting satisfaction? How do you reconcile both?
So, Prabhuji, actually, Krishna is using these apparently paradox. He's saying apparent of paradox, but it is actually not, because Prabhuji, we have to be satisfied with whatever Krishna is giving us, but the determination we have is not to achieve more and more and more material opulence, prosperity. We should not be greedy. Like, it's one of the anathas. We should not be greedy. We should not want money, prosperity, fame, followers, etc. So the determination is to improve ourselves in bhakti so that Krishna accepts us sooner or later. We have to make ourselves suitable for Krishna to use.
Okay, thank you. We have to make ourselves suitable for Krishna to use. Wonderful statement. Anything else? Anyone else would like to add? How are the satisfaction and determination? How can we reconcile both? Okay, no more perspectives. So let me just go a little deeper into this. In the name of satisfaction, we should not just settle down to a meager performance. Okay. So right amount of endeavor in the right direction with the right intention leads to satisfaction of heart. So oftentimes, in the name of growing, in the name of improving ourselves, we tend to compete with others. We tend to compare with others, right? We tend to outsmart others. We tend to defeat others. So that is against satisfaction. But genuinely trying to improve oneself is not against satisfaction, by the way. You grow up to your full potential, right? Don't settle down to a meager performance. When you have more capacity to work, you cannot say, I'll be satisfied with this much work only. It's like when you have ability to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, you say, no, I'm satisfied with 2 rounds. I'll just chant 2 rounds only, right? Or when you have capacity to understand Bhagavatam and then read, 1 hour in a day, no, I'm satisfied with 5 minutes, enough, sufficient for me. Or when you have opportunity to take a full meal, you will say, I'm satisfied with only this one item. Okay, I'm satisfied one time in a day. Then you may grow weak. You should eat as much food as your body requires, right? Satisfaction is not settling down to a meager performance or meager facilities, despite your need to have them, despite your ability to grow with them, right? So therefore, our hard work, our determination, our attempt to improve ourselves should not just get us into a comparative mentality, competitive mentality, and trying to outsmart people, defeat people, suppress people, oppress people, sideline people. All this is actually display of envy, right? So you improve yourself. Don't try to prove yourself to the whole world, but you improve yourself from wherever you are. So I often ask this question to, especially in kids' places, kids' classes. I ask, if you get 90% in your exam, will you be happy? 95% in your exam, will you be happy? The children will generally say, yes, that's a very good score, we'll be happy. But next question is, if all of your classmates are getting 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, will you be happy? You're the last ranker. The kids generally are not very excited with this thing. Oh, I got 95%, but I'm a last ranker. No, I don't want that kind of happiness. Now ask next question. If you get 60% in your exam, will you be happy? The kids say, it's not a great score. No, I'm not so excited. And next question, I ask them, if all your classmates get 59%, 45%, 33%, 22%, 0%, you are the only person who got 60 and you're a first ranker, will you be happy? They're very excited. Yes, we'll be happy, right? So the happiness is relative in this case, not absolute. So by honest efforts, if you get 95 out of 95 or 95 out of 100, you should be happy. By honest efforts, if you get 60, then also you should be happy. But your happiness or distress is dependent on how others are scoring. That's the problem. Because there's a comparison mentality, competitive mentality, outsmarting mentality, a mentality to stand in the front line, in the limelight, on the podium, right? Always we expect this world to offer us a podium where I'm seen as the great, right? So that is against satisfaction. Okay. Now I generally ask the third question also to the kids. If you get 60% in this exam, and in the next exam you get 70%, will you be happy? Then all the children generally say, I'm happy. Now here they are not comparing themselves with anyone else. They are comparing themselves with themselves only. There's an improvement from 60% to 70% is a great improvement. Okay, so you be happy for improving yourself, and don't feel distressful that others are better than you, or don't feel proud that others are younger than you, that the others are less experienced or less talented than you. So your happiness or your distress should not depend on how you are performing in comparison with others, but how you are actually performing, how you are actually growing. So that kind of growth mindset is not against satisfaction principle, right? Similarly, in the spiritual context, different devotees can render different services. One devotee can sing for the Lord so sweetly, so nicely. But one devotee, if he opens his mouth and then starts singing, my God, oh, it's like terrible sometimes. I'll tell you one example. Pandavas, right? Bhima. So Arjuna is a very wonderful singer. And Bhima looked at Arjuna and said, oh, Arjuna, you're singing so nicely. I also want to learn singing. Then Bhima went to a music teacher, and the music teacher taught him some ragas. And Bhima just sat in front of the main palace of Indraprastha and started singing the ragas very loudly. And definitely it is not very sweet. All the people around are getting really bothered and irritated. And if who has the ability, who has the courage to face Bhima and say, you are not singing properly, stop this singing. No one can. Bhima will make a pulp out of them. He will make chutney out of them, right? So nobody dared to go to Bhima. But people went to Yudhishthir Maharaj. He's more approachable, very kind and shant. They went to Yudhishthir Maharaj and said, Yudhishthir, we are really getting bothered by Bhima's loud practice of his singing. And it's not sweet also. Then Yudhishthir Maharaj thought, let me not tell Bhima. I'll ask Draupadi to tell Bhima. So Yudhishthir Maharaj told Draupadi to go and inform Bhima. Then Draupadi very expertly went to Bhima and said that, my dear Bhima, music is an art that only few people are blessed with. Anyways, you are practicing this singing so nicely. Actually, Indraprastha Palace, this busy city, is not a place for you to practice. You should go to a mountain. You should go to a secluded forest. There you should practice nicely. Then that's a very wonderful ambience where you can do a better job. You can learn better. Then Bhima felt so happy. Yes, wonderful. This is a very good idea. He went to a forest, nearby forest, small forest, and started singing very loudly, practicing so loudly. As Bhima was practicing one day loudly, his singing, one washerman came there. Bhima was in the midst of some garden, some bushes, and this washerman came there and then opened some bushes and then looked at Bhima. And then he got scared. Okay, he was surprised and scared and he ran away. Then Bhima noticed it. And Bhima ran behind that washerman and then caught him and said, why are you scared? Why are you running away? Why did you first enter that place? Then please forgive me, Bhima. I will tell the truth, but you should not harm me. Please bear with me. Actually, I'm a washerman. One of my donkeys just ran away from me. I was searching for the donkey. So I searched everywhere in the forest, and finally I heard some sounds from this bush. I thought I found my donkey. So I went in and looked into the bushes, expecting that I can see my donkey, but I saw you. Right? Indirectly, he said that your singing is as good as a donkey singing. Okay. So then Bhima understood, oh my God, I think it's not meant for me. Okay. I'm not supposed to practice this singing and irritate people. But Bhima is a nice devotee, wonderful devotee. Okay. He is the one who killed Duryodhana and all the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra. To extend the story, we still have 3 more minutes. Let me give you extra details of the story. So Bhima stopped his music practice, came back to Indraprastha. One day, our dear Yudhishthir Maharaj came to Bhima and said, Bhima, can you please go to Dwaraka and get Krishna here immediately? I want him this afternoon here. Then Bhima said, yes, why not, my dear brother? You are my elder brother, you are worshipable master, you are the king of Indraprastha. I am supposed to follow your instructions. I will definitely go. And Bhima thought, let me take breakfast and immediately go to Dwaraka. He took breakfast. Okay. And after breakfast, he thought, it's a long journey. I think I should take little rest before moving here. Bhima went to his room and then slept. Okay. Then after a while, there's a knock on Bhima's door. Bhima opened the door. Bhima got up from sleep. Oh, he opened the door and Yudhishthira Maharaj was standing there. Yudhishthira is very furious, very angry. Bhima, I told you to get Krishna, but you did not get Krishna. You are sleeping here till afternoon. Then Bhima understood, my God, I thought I'll take a nap, power nap, but I slept till afternoon from breakfast till lunchtime. I was sleeping only. He felt so guilty. He felt so sad and ashamed that he did not do the service given by Yudhishthira Maharaj. He only had little time left. Then he folded his hands and prayed to Krishna. Krishna, my elder brother, worshipable brother, a wonderful devotee of yours, he has given me a small service to bring you here, but I slept and I consumed a lot of my time. I hardly have any time now. Now I'm going to start. Please give me the ability to bring you here fast, as fast as I could. Okay. He sincerely offered prayers. He said, Krishna, Madhusudana, Madhava, Trivikrama, Govinda. He chanted the holy names of the Lord and offered a prayer. As he was praying like this, again Bhima heard, thak, thak, thak. He opened the door. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj was standing there. Behind Yudhishthira, Krishna was there. Then Yudhishthira said that, Bhima, you are so humble. Just few minutes back, I was chastising you, I was scolding you that you did not get Krishna. You are sleeping. But actually, you got Krishna already, much before afternoon. You are very efficient in your work. So, I congratulate you. Thank you so much. And I am sorry for scolding you. And he left. Then Bhima was completely confused. How come Krishna is here? So Bhima went to Krishna and asked, Krishna, how come you are here? I never brought you. Then Krishna said, Bhima, do you remember? Do you remember you were practicing some songs and music and some ragas some time back? You were trying to learn music? Actually, I'm not very impressed with your effort there. I'm not at all impressed with your music. But just few minutes back, 5 minutes back, you were praying, right? Madhava, Madhusudana, Govinda, Trivikrama, Krishna, please come and help me to serve my elder brother. This I liked more. So all the practice of ragas, Bhima's practice of ragas did not impress Krishna, but his humble, sincere, heartfelt prayers impressed Krishna. Right? So Krishna said, this kind of music captivates my heart. That kind of music will not impress me so much. Right? So then Bhima understood, oh, the real mood that we need to maintain is a prayerful mood to get attraction of Krishna, to become dear to Krishna, not exactly all the skill set. Skill sets have a limit to impress Krishna, but heartfelt devotion impresses Krishna more. Therefore, we need to develop the devotion for Krishna, and all this character and virtues and qualities will automatically develop, right? We have to put some effort also. So more than focusing on the skills, developing skills, develop character and understand that foundation of developing good character is devotion to Krishna, right? And be satisfied with whatever talents and skills that Krishna has given you and utilize those skills nicely to grow nicely and perform greater service to Krishna. But when you are not good at some skill, don't be disappointed and don't over endeavor to acquire that skill. Just be satisfied with whatever skills we have, focus on them, engage them in Krishna service, right? So we can discuss more. Sorry, I was speaking so many topics today because of the shloka. So I could have taken only one topic of satisfaction and then go deep into that. But anyways, we have learned something. So just to add a few more points on satisfaction. A satisfied heart is free from undue attachments, envy, pride, and greed. So one should not be envious when someone else has more skills or more facilities than us. So we should be satisfied with whatever we have, which we get with our honest efforts, and we can improve in that direction, right? And the satisfied heart doesn't feel the need to accumulate more material goods or hanker for recognition, name, fame, praise by others. Okay, but offer whatever one has to Krishna's service. And a satisfied person is grateful for what one has and what one is by God's grace. So Bhima is something, so let him just be satisfied with whatever he is in Krishna's service. So there are many more things that we can learn about satisfaction, but I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any more recitations? We can recite. I'll just go to the shloka.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, can I recite after?
Yeah. Santushtaha satatam yogi.
Santushtaha satatam yogi.
Yatatma dridha nishchayah.
Yatama dridha nishchayah.
Mayyarpita mano buddhir.
Mayyarpita mano buddhir.
Yo mad bhaktaha same priyah.
Yoga madbhava sat same priyah. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी संतुष्टस्य ततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर् यो मद्भक्तः मे प्रियः.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी संतुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर् यो मे भक्तः स मे प्रियः. हरे कृष्ण.
सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी ययात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः. Thank you, Praji. Thank you so much. Dandavad
हरे
pranam.
कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम. संतुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः. थैंक यू प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्ण.
संतुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः.
Next.
संतुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मयि अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you. One more last. Santushtaha satatam yogi. Okay, thank you very much. We'll meet next week. We completed Gita series. We may start with Bhagavatam or some other shlokas.